Hey everyone, I'm Rick and welcome to Upstory Unfiltered. This is where product designers react to the unique apps that we come across on a daily basis and hopefully give some insightful feedback. We are a product design firm, man, my words today. We're a product design firm called Upstory, and we make designing products fun, simple, and enjoyable. Often we find ourselves in this unique spot as an outside firm where we're in a prime position to fight for strategies that internal design teams typically aren't able to fight for the way that we can. So sometimes we can help internal teams get traction. Like I said, I'm Rick. I'm the founder of Upstory. We've worked with internal teams, external teams, and we've worked with products from large, big millions of users all the way down to just simple, quick startups that, maybe one week projects. But yeah, let me introduce the rest of my team. So this is Daniel.
Hey, Daniel, senior designer here at Upstory. I've been a product designer for about 10 years, mainly working on early stage companies from seed to around Series B.
Awesome. And then we have Nash.
Hey guys, Nash. I am not a designer. I'm a growth consultant, and I've worked with a variety of size companies as well. And so I think I'm giving the layman's perspective here. Not totally sure. Happy to be here as always.
I think that's fair. If there's a contrast, that contrast is going to be Daniel and Nash. Daniel has been a part of, I think, what's the number? Is it 14,000 startups? I can't remember the number. It's a lot of startups.
15,000.
15,000 startups. Awesome. Well, cool. What do we got today?
Nash, you want to fill us in?
Yeah, we have private auto today. And so ran across private auto, another Utah, like a Silicon Slopes startup, growing quickly. Just ran across Brad, the CEO and founder over there. Thought it was very interesting. I thought initially, Rick, you'd really like this since you're a car guy. Daniel, I'm not sure if you're a car guy, but
yeah, sort of.
Yeah, really excited about this one and excited to see get your guys' kind of feedback here.
Yeah, no, secretly, I'm trying. Don't tell anyone, but I'm trying to buy my wife a Mini Cooper. She really.
Hey.
Whoa.
This is our secret. No one else can know.
She's like around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. But no, you said it's Brad, right?
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah, I think I met Brad on LinkedIn. I think I was chatting with him a little bit. So that's awesome. This is exciting to see.
Sweet. Yeah, so I downloaded the app. This is pretty much, I haven't done anything yet, so this is pretty much fresh off the App Store.
Okay, sweet. So private auto, just to be clear, private auto is for selling your car. Yes.
Yeah, private car sales, I believe.
Awesome. So they're going to be competing with obviously the Craigslist and the Facebook Marketplace and the cars.com and some of those, but then kind of the more, I don't know, the new kid on the block, maybe they're not so new anymore, but like the Carvanas and the CarMax to some extent. Like CarMax kind of straddles between dealer and online setup. So curious what they do to kind of become like what is their wedge between them and these other guys? Like, what is it that they do differently?
Yeah, this is
ID verification, value and history report, e-sign, bill of sale, instant payment. Okay.
It's just interesting. It's like an app, but it feels like a landing page, a website landing page.
Yeah, it really does. In fact, when you said it was an app, I looked at this and was like, that's not an app, that's a website. So it is an app.
Yeah.
Looks like it. So My Money, My Garage, Marketplace. What if you go to Marketplace? Where does that take you?
Okay.
Cars for sale. Okay, so this is going to be more like a cars.com, or this is not going to be Carvana where they're kind of buying and selling inventory themselves. This is more like cars.com or an alternative to like a Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I'm in the market for a 4Runner, so here we go.
Oh, sweet.
Daniel, was there any onboarding, or you just were like, boom, you're there?
Nope, just dropped on.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Estimated
Yeah,
payments.
that's surprising. And honestly, maybe a little disappointing because, yeah, you kind of understand what private auto would be, but you probably do want to give a little bit more context of what it is. I like some of the things they do. This market price report, that's great. And of course, just to be clear, I've been looking at cars. That's kind of par for the course. Everyone's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Seller's verifications. They have this email, mobile, driver's license, private auto pay connected. Looks like it's a little bit, I'm not sure if that's on or off. Looks like that's off maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's off.
Oh, see, what is this? Why use private auto?
I think it's
Transfer,
like just to be safe with your money.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, something like this would be really cool for like onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Add-ons.
Oh, interesting. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot here that, like you said, Daniel, that they could right away, that initial experience could be, if you just get dropped into the page of the app, it could be better.
Yeah, even this test drive is kind of cool. I didn't know you can schedule a test drive with this person.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a simple connection to them.
Link
That's
up.
that's cool. Did it ask for your location when you first signed in?
It did not.
Okay, I would kind of expect or hope that it would do that.
Yeah.
What happened? What just happened here? Why did we change? It looked like we went to a different site almost.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that's their website.
I have no idea. Oh,
No, you're on a
I am
website
on a
now.
website. So I think this takes me to. Wait, what the heck? What just happened?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I went back and then it took me to the website. So
Back to search for the site. Okay, so they got a little bug there.
Yeah.
Hit the private auto at the top there.
Yeah, let me open it up again.
Yeah, that's great.
Took me to a whole website on the website.
So first of all, let's talk about what their goals are. And in my mind, their number one problem is going to be, and I've seen this with actually a few other places, a few other marketplaces like this. Their number one problem is getting inventory. Like they just need people to say, I'm willing to sell my car with you. And especially because they're charging for it. So there's one that I tried, it was like sellmyusedtesla.com or something like that. I had a Tesla Model 3 that I was selling a couple of years ago. And they reached out to me like, hey, I see you're selling your car. So I'm curious how they're building up inventory. And I'm guessing it's kind of an interesting chicken or the egg situation. It's like you have to have inventory and you have to have buyers. So it's kind of an interesting, like, you kind of have to have.
Cool. I'm done to focus on the selling.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to their website right now just to check to see. Private sales made simple, list a vehicle, browse vehicles. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a chicken or egg problem, and it's kind of interesting. Just looking at this.
Yeah, I guess hearing you guys kind of talk through it, it's a tougher market than I think I realized.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition they got to deal with.
Yeah. Here, if you want, by the way, feel free to put my information in here, Daniel.
Yeah, I don't even have a car, so I can't even put in.
All right, go to Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Let's see if I can get the license plate here. Insurance. State. One sec. Man, this is going to be a chopped up edit.
Very good. Trying to see if I can quickly find a license plate out here.
I love it.
Too far though, I can't see. I need need a zoom or something.
Telescope.
Yeah, there's
Let's get you a telescope.
definitely cars I can look at, but I can't see the license plate. It's too small.
It's okay. You're up in your amazing amazing view place. It's too far away to see all us common folk.
I'm up in the clouds, man.
I'd like to talk to you guys at some point about Craigslist. Actually, how has Craigslist? I'd be very curious to know, like, their growth. How many users are they losing? Are they maintaining users? Are they gaining users? Because nothing has really changed about the experience, has it? It's like Craigslist still.
Yeah, I think I don't remember the numbers, but I remember reading something about Craigslist and how they don't change it, and then their users are like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. They could do a much better job, but I don't think they want to fix what they're doing. It's almost like their brand now.
Mm.
All right, I got a number for you guys.
Very nice.
MBH 180.
180.
Come on, really? Vehicle not found.
You know, I do have a car too. I could.
Capital MBH space 180. All right, I'll do a different one. I'll give you a bin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay. Let's see here. 2 HM.
Oh, you're on your phone. Sorry.
D1 882 5H5 02416 02416. All right, it worked.
Boom. I want to know how much I can get for this anyway. So
There you go. Dealer trade.
$4,300. That's amazing.
Private party. It's not bad. Sign up and finish listing. So I kind of like that. They kind of have you bought in a little bit, see how much you can get, and then they ask for your information.
Yep. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do it.
I think you need, and then all this other stuff. Okay.
Listing fee. Oh, right. All right.
Continue. Story.
You're gonna get remarketed. I like the little loader. That's
I'll
fun.
say loading. Put some work in there. It's probably such a roundabout. They gotta like hit their site and come back and hit the app.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, here it is.
All right.
I have Rick's car in my
There you go.
account.
All right.
Actually,
Scrolling down. License plate.
so-
MBH 180.
Okay. Trim.
Miles 215,000. That's
Dang.
gonna change the value a bunch.
You ran it down.
55112.
I guess we'll go 5,000. That's what they're saying, right?
Yeah, see view details because I don't know that it accounted for the miles on here.
Black book.
Yeah, it didn't really account for the miles, so that's kind of a big deal.
Yes, this is fresh.
Yeah.
Vehicle history, more.
Yeah, go to the history, or photos, or other stuff. Yeah.
It didn't doesn't let me click these.
Okay, so let's go photos, open. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lack of the next step here.
Yeah.
Honestly, they did a pretty good job of a lot of things, but I feel like there's a couple spots where it's like I'd like a little more.
Load. Let's put in the information, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just putting things in now.
Excuse me, it's black with a brown interior.
I'm gonna do. Rick would totally have a gold car with gold interior for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, no.
Any defects? Well, that's debatable.
Subjective. Okay. Oh, you can set your test drive
Oh,
hours.
nice. I like it. Okay.
It's not bad. Rick is available
Oh man.
5 in the morning and all the way until 11 at night. Let's do that.
Only on Mondays and
Mondays and
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. There you go. Close this. Ownership. Yes.
Yes. No.
No.
No. No.
Co-seller. Upload documents.
Yeah, we'll skip that.
I like how it closes the other one. Opens up a new one.
Yeah. Verified funds require a verified account. Private auto pay. Oh, Bitcoin. Woo.
Okay.
I like just private auto pay.
Oh,
All right.
C car's value. Oh, this is something else, huh? Yeah, they don't really take into account the miles.
Yeah, that's a little. Oh, what does it say?
1, 2, 3.
Photos open. All right, go ahead.
Right.
Here, I'll give you a photo.
Here, I'll take a photo.
You know where I found a photo?
Where?
This is how I found my license plate. Hang on a second. You're gonna like this one. It's gonna be the world's best photo for a car.
I wonder what they do with these like trash listings.
I'm sure they come back and, hey, finish your listing.
Well, I gotta pay, and then it'll upload.
Oh, you used that photo. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your closing fee $150 if the vehicle sells.
I guess
Secure.
you wouldn't want to put up a fake photo because you're paying $25 to put it up anyway.
Right.
I feel like $25 is, I don't know. For me, it feels kind of like a pretty stopper. I feel like being able to put it online for free would be nice.
What's it cost at like cars.com, car soup? Let's see here. List a car. Sell your car. How much? What does it get to know for work?
I mean, maybe they can just take a slice off of the sale when it goes
Yeah.
through. Just like the closing cost or something.
That's
Mhm.
smart. That's a good idea.
I think they want to get money up front because they know people are going to list on multiple markets.
That's fair.
But if the goal is inventory, there should be no $25. Well, wouldn't you agree? Like, yeah, how many people
Yeah.
need to stop?
No, you're right. You're right. Cars.com is free
Free.
Yeah.
for reference. Yeah.
Maybe
Alright.
private auto needs to kind of niche down a little bit more before they tackle like a wide market. Like maybe they focus solely on like super exotic cars, like that niche, or like just for Mini Coopers.
Mm.
People trying
Well,
to
I
sell
think
Mini Coopers only.
they might kind of do that. I don't know if it's a like stated niche, but when I've seen Brad's posts or someone's posts, they are fairly exotic and either very high end or like classic even.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
if I go to their homepage right now, I see BMW, Ford, BMW, Toyota. So it's like, that's not super high end.
Mm.
I do like that they handle everything, but I will say, I was just poking around cars.com, which great job getting a URL there, guys. But I was just poking on cars.com, and they kind of do a lot of the same things that private auto does. They have you can transact with them. They use kind of a third party called Caramel. They also have an instant offer option. Car Soup has a $15 and a $30 package. So it's not out of the ordinary, but yeah, it's interesting. It definitely is interesting to me that they're focusing on, I mean, it's telling me that they're really focusing on getting people to list their vehicles. So what you're saying, Daniel, is like, do we want people to put in the money up front? And one thing up here, if you scroll up to the top, does it say anything about, like, here we go, vehicle history report, get these powerful tools. So that's the big thing. I think people, if they need to do this, that vehicle history report right there, to me, that's where the value is. Because if I go to Carfax and try and get a Carfax on my car, it's going to cost $25.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And everyone is looking for a Carfax or something like a Carfax. So,
But are you trying to sell this Acura? This MDX?
Yeah.
Have you already gotten a Carfax report?
no, I mean, I haven't started trying to sell it, so it's a good time. So I
Okay.
just looked at Carfax. It's $44.99 to get a Carfax report.
I see. But would you trust someone like Private Auto to get you this report, or would you trust Carfax as a brand to give you like this is like industry standard?
Right. No, you're right, because Carfax is kind of industry standard, and there are a couple other I've seen pop up, but I'd like to see them use like third-party validation, because who knows, maybe they're using Carfax.
Yeah. Showing third party.
But a third-party validation here would be really beneficial to be like, hey, this is why you pay $25. And in fact, you could do another thing saying, you know, there's a closing fee if you sell it with us. And by the way, you can list it free,
Yeah.
or while you're checking out, like, actually, we have an option for you. Get your Carfax or get your vehicle history report and get all these
Yeah.
other things for
That's-
$25.
That's
Like
really
that barrier, that is much lower barrier for me rather than everybody has to pay $25.
Yeah,
And I get that we don't want people posting cars on there that don't have, there's again, the chicken and the egg. They don't want people posting cars that are not verified yet, but
that.
I think there's
and
benefit there.
I feel like you can start upselling pretty good if you start like line iteming everything out, upselling them in this whole process. Like listing is free, but then you can also now you can add on this history report powered by Carfax. You can get a free, I don't know, test drive, like up to 5 free test drives or something. I don't know. But you can start smartly adding things on, so people end up spending like $50 versus like just 25.
Yeah, I think there's a way to bring that experience to be just a little bit more. And I know people don't like being nickel and dimed on 1,000 things, but like I think there's a way to kind of break down the barriers a little bit better. Because right now, there are a lot of barriers that I have to listing my car with Private Auto.
Yeah.
The first barrier, of course, is who is Private Auto and what does their inventory look like? We talked about that.
Yeah.
And because if there are only 100 cars on Private Auto, then I'm not motivated to put it on there, especially to pay $25 to get it on this. Like, is this exclusive?
Yeah.
I mean, like Nash was saying, like Daniel, like you were saying, like if this is an exclusive, like really nice car only site, then maybe I am motivated to do that. But it doesn't look like that. Like my 2005 Acura MDX with 250,000 miles, like easily I can post that. But then also, like, it feels like the barrier is just too high right now.
Or just
And
too
by the
many,
way,
too many unknowns. Like I don't know if if I give you this 25, like I'll be down to give you 25 if I knew there was going to be like 1,000 people looking at it every single month. But if it's like, I give you $25 and I don't even know who's looking at it, then I don't want to just give anyone $25 just to give them $25.
That's a really good point. If there is, and maybe that's, they're working on their business model and maybe it's not finalized, but if it is, and we just say, hey, $25 is what it costs, then I think there's some option to really educate people a little bit better here on what that goes into, because this is just like these bullet points are not enough for me.
Or at least
And
the correlation isn't really there that $25 gives me all this stuff. Maybe it doesn't, but gives you all this stuff. But then also it'd be really nice to see like listing on private auto will guarantee like 100 views a week or something. Like,
yeah,
even that's like enough. All right, $25, 5K, like potentially like that's a good number I can live with for like 100 views a week. We'll see what
yeah,
happens. But then right now it's really literally just shooting in the dark.
yeah. And the elephant in the room is this is a national thing. So is someone gonna is your audience really gonna buy this? Or is this really, am I just posting this out into the void where, yeah, maybe someone who's interested in my car is gonna see it, but they're in California or they're in New York. They're in California, I'm in New York, and they're just not willing to put the risk out there when there's local inventory in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, and private auto being so like not not re- like a big name car dealership. Having that onboarding beforehand, explaining like what private auto is, how they operate, like bringing a lot of transparency into their operations is pretty important because
Yeah,
it just feels. I'm not gonna say shady because I'm sure it's like a great company, but I just don't know anything about them.
yeah, yeah. And by the way, I'm gonna say something that I feel like we need to caveat this in all of our videos.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it the other day. It's easy for us as outsiders to see these things because we're not close to
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And it's really easy you can open up almost any app in the world uh, and nitpick certain things.
yeah, cool, yeah,
What there is a little bit of weight to some of these things here though, because this is business level nitpicks of, hey, you know what? I don't know that you have enough here to convince me that I want to buy with private auto or want to list with private auto.
yeah,
Buying, I suppose, honestly, and that's the thing, going back to we talked about buyers for a while, but like if you show me the right car, I'm not too concerned with the platform. I care a little bit about it, but like
mm-hmm.
if I find the right car at the right deal, I'm pretty motivated to make the deal happen.
Yeah,
Whereas the seller, that's where you really have to get that motivation in there. So to me, there's a little bit of a motivation we need of why am I paying $25? And maybe, as Daniel, you mentioned, could we decide not to pay $25? Could we make it that
mm-hmm.
there's a free listing? Now, if you want the vehicle history report, if you want us to guarantee X number of people in your region will see it, if you want, the ability to do the test driving, that's a $25 fee. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's a cleaner upsell, and honestly, it's something that might be worth paying for, especially like comparison, right? You can say, hey, Carfax report costs $44.99. You want to do that, or do you want to pay $25 and get our report and
Boom.
and the listing and this
Yeah.
and that? So there's some opportunity here. The other part of that is the onboarding. That is just like, how can you convince me of what your marketplace is and that you have enough of a marketplace that I see the value in it? I think that's the key thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think they got us through where they wanted us to be, like towards the end. Like it wasn't that bad adding a vehicle and putting everything in. Like obviously there's things we could do to make the experience better, but I think from a fundamental level, like at the very top, everything we talked about I think should be addressed first, and then everything kind of trickles after that, or trickles down after that. So having a good understanding on what private auto is, like what the wedge is versus other competitors, and then applying that to the app, I think would do a lot for them.
Yeah. My question is, I think this was an awesome conversation because it wasn't really designed. It wasn't like a design conversation. It was a totally like business brand level conversation. But Daniel kind of hit on it. Yeah. How do you bake that, design that into the actual product then
Mm.
that you're getting at? Like, it sounds like it's a lot of like trust, and so yeah. So I'd be curious, how do you do that?
That's a good point. I mean, I think a few different ways that can be handled. First of all, I should mention, I think both Daniel and I come from experiences in brand, and so that helps. That's one of the reasons that we think on the brand, our flex our brand muscles a little bit sometimes. But trust often is the primary need for sites like this. It's not so much the function. Sometimes it's really just like getting people to trust that you are the right person to handle this. And sometimes we mention with like third-party validation, Carfax, that's a big deal. If they're using Carfax, or if they're not using Carfax, call out what they're using, because even if it's something I've never recognized, I can look it up and say, oh, it looks like these guys have done 8 million cars. Great. I trust that's going to give me the full history. So like third-party validation for the services they're using, but also validation of, like, one thing I see missing on this onboarding experience is customer validation. Like, I sold with Private Auto in 3 days, and it was easy, and they made the payment process awesome, like all of that. Like, that's another big one. And then the last one is coming back to the validating the market. And that's going to be the hardest one, is validating that we have both a market of cars here, but also then an audience who are actually looking at this market of cars. And that, I don't have a clear answer for that, to be completely honest. And I bet Brad and everyone working on this, that's probably their number one concern, number one thing that kind of they struggle with on a day-to-day basis, is how can we hit a critical mass where people are seeing this. And I think, Daniel, you mentioned it, like niching down, anyway, getting a smaller niche for them, I think would be one way that they could do that. Either it's they focus on the luxury cars, or they focus very specifically on markets to say, hey, we're going to really focus on the Utah market. Because I think that's something, if you decide, hey, Private Auto is only available in Utah, like, I think they could start to see a little bit more of a benefit, and start to see the kind of the network effect happening if they start in a specific market and then start slowly expanding to other markets, whether it's a regional market, or whether it's a type of car, or what, I think that might be the way. And that's obviously a bit of a big business change for them. And so, hey, product designer guy, come tell me how to run my business. But I mean, quite honestly, you guys know this is what we do at Upstory. We a lot of product design teams, they're so focused on like the roundness of the buttons and that sort of thing, and we do, like, we care a lot, and we care about those interactions. We care about how round the button is. But more so than that, when we start, we usually start with, what is the market? What is the reason that someone is going to interact with your product? And if that reason isn't super, super strong, chances are they're going to go with your larger competitors. If you haven't given them like a really good reason to say, yes, I see a value in Private Auto over Cars.com, over selling my car directly to Carvana. Like, first of all, Carvana is going to give you a bad deal, but like, that's fine. But I think that there's opportunity here, and I think it might be that onboarding, kind of the validation, a little bit better in the validation, potential to say, hey, is there a free version of this that we can upsell to the $25 version? And then probably the most important is finding a niche that's a small enough bite size, but also has a big enough market and a big enough potential for them.
Yeah, I agree. Nash, to answer your question on my side, I think Rick pretty much tackled 99% of things I would have said. But one thing I would like to add on is like transparency and like communication. It's more just like copywriting, but then making sure you're putting like pieces of information. For example, like Rick was saying, like this is the company we use to get your car history report. Things like that goes a long way in me trusting something I don't know. One of my other startups was like this. We were donating stocks to, or helping people donate stocks to like any nonprofit, and we needed access to like super sensitive information, like social security, like their stock brokerage information, like really high value stuff. The only way we got around that was by like really like letting them know this is what we're going to use it for. This is why we need it. If you don't give us this, it's going to like delay the process like 20 plus days. Just letting them know like this is why we need it. This is what's going to happen. And then it ended up being pretty good. Like we got more sensitive information automatically. And that was with like a brand new, like no one knew who Overflow was, like what we do or anything. So that was cool. I think private auto kind of needs to do something similar where, I mean, they have a lot of cool things. Like they have cars on you. I don't know how long these cars have been on you for, but they have cars on you, and it's not like they don't have cars. So I'm pretty sure they have some sort of buyer market. So I think if they give a little bit more information on like how things work at private auto, what they can expect, both seller and buyer, things like that. Sounds pretty simple and pretty like not needed, but then I think private auto got most of the like MVP stuff out of the way. I think they can really focus on acquiring customers by being transparent.
Yeah, I'm curious what their SEO strategy is, because I would imagine that a great thing that someone's going to want. Look at that 1965 Ford Mustang. I wouldn't mind that one.
Yeah, same.
But a great thing that one of their customers are going to want is to know that, hey, this is posted on a third party. This is posted on Google. This is like, aggregated to other platforms as well. So this is great though. I think some more transparency, a little bit of onboarding, a little bit of explanation, and then potentially some finding a niche that they can really win in, I think is probably the hardest but most valuable thing that they could do right now.
Yeah, I think another way to put what we're trying to say is you have to sell to me why I should put my car on you. Like, I'm not just gonna do it, but if you want me to pay $25, like actually sell me on it, Like, we're gonna post your car on like 100 different sites. We're gonna get like 1,000 people looking at it every single week. We're gonna let people make it really easy so you can set up test drives. We're gonna we're gonna give you a Carfax report that's cheaper than whatever the other one is. And it's gonna be exactly the same report. We use the exact same parties. It's gonna be exactly the same. Like, payment processing is way easier. No headaches. Like, everything's done for you. Like, get your 5K in like 2 weeks or less. Like, sell me on why I should use private auto over like CarMax.
I was just thinking a fun way of doing part of that validation would be what you just said there. Imagine having a video testimonial of a customer who just said like 50% of that. Like, I listed my car on private auto. It took me 4 days to sell it, and the experience was so painful. Was so painless.
Painfully painless.
Painfully painless. Yes. I mean, I think you get to a checkout page, that would be so valuable.
Yeah.
And a side note, I don't want to like keep going on and on, but one of the things we did recently for one of our clients is this tiniest little thing that we did on validating the checkout page. We just had X number of people recently purchased. And that's all it was. It's like X number of people recently checked out or recently signed up in your state.
That would be super sick.
Yeah. And so we did that, and the next time we ran analytics with literally just that small change, I know it's not a huge number, but we had 15% improvement on checkout.
No, that's crazy. It probably took like...
And it's like this tiny little change that
5 minutes of development time.
Exactly. So, I mean, little things like that, there's all sorts of low-hanging fruit in those areas, but I think, this is cool though. I mean, honestly, the platform as a whole, I think is pretty well done. Like, from a visual perspective, it's clean. I can see, you know, little tiny bits of rough edges around here and there, but like as a general rule, like I think it's visually nice. I think I feel comfortable navigating through the site. And quite honestly, a lot of startups like this, they don't get that part right. So props to Brad and the team for getting that right. Yeah, I think there's some real opportunity here. So cool.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Again, this is Upstory Unfiltered. We're still working on the name a little bit, but I think that's what's settling in my head. Upstory Unfiltered. It's us kind of giving you our unfiltered feedback on the apps that we ran across this one the other day. It seemed really interesting. It seemed like something I wanted to put our heads together and really think, like, what could we do to help? And I don't know, I have a ton of fun doing this. And so I hope, if Private Auto, if Brad, if you see this, like, I hope this is helpful feedback. And if you have an app or if you have a website that you're interested in getting feedback from us, we'd be happy to do it. So feel free to comment on the video, or if you see this, wherever you see this, feel free to reach out. Cool.
Sounds good.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Peace.